Oh, they've done it! Steven Gerrard, an instant hero! Can you believe this? Plenty attacking! No! The comeback is complete! A stunning second half from Schalke!
Blau und weiß sein Leben lang. Herzlich willkommen zurück auf Schalke America. I'm your host, Richard Carmen. No Jack Mangan tonight. It's an international break. It's an impromptu podcast tonight just because we got a new manager now. And, we actually got a win for once. We actually scored 4 goals, almost equally in our season total. So we should talk about it, right? We don't have too many good things to talk about lately. And so we said it's a Victory Monday on a Monday. During international break. It's a Testspiel Monday, but it's all right. Some good, some bad to talk about. And, what else is there to talk about, right? We could talk about Germany, right? They won 4-1 against the United States. Talk about that. But, let's want to talk a little bit about Schalke here and what we saw from our new man and our team. We had the new manager bump from Geraerts. Hopefully that's not the only new manager bump we get. Hopefully it shows up in against Karlsruhe, right? But yeah, we had a 4-1 victory on last Thursday. It seems like a week ago now, forever now. But yeah, we should get a little bit of talk because there was definitely some good stuff and good bad stuff about it. Glukov, Joseph, good to see you. Anthony, you as well. Yes. But let's talk about Schalke this game. Obviously, winners 4-1 against Heracles Almelo. Heracles is in the Eredivisie. Currently sitting 8th in the table for them, so they're a decent club, right? They're an average Eredivisie club. Certainly a team that should challenge us in theory in the Testspiel, right? That's if they can play their hardest. Why wouldn't they though, right? But it's curious to see how Schalke would do in this one. And let me get over to the starting lineup in this one. I thought the starting lineup was interesting in this game. Obviously, Häkkinen in goal, or start of the game. We had 2 different teams each half. But the first half, we saw Häkkinen in goal with Owayan, Seguin in the middle, Terodde up top, Tempelman, Lasma, Cisse back in our lives with Kalash. Obviously, the Baumgartel suspended for his comments prior to the Thomas Rice firing, so he wasn't available for this one. I guess he could have been, right? It's international break, but I'm sure the team didn't want to. It wouldn't set a good example if they suspended him and then bring him for the first match against international friendly, right? Kaminsky, Matriciani, and Ouedraogo, they all got the start in this one. On the bench, people who you'd see in the second half: Michel Langer, Baboy, Drexler, Idrizi, Karaman, Kazuki, Moore, Merkin, Poulter, Talabidi, Toya, and Schallenberg. And so interesting starting 11. Obviously the goalie was no brainer right there, right? But I think we knew we had an idea that maybe we're going to a back 3 this one. This is what Karel Geraerts likes to implement, and he wants to see what his team could do. Can they work with this 5-3-2? And so in the back, you had Cisse on the right side of the back 3, Kalash in the middle, Kaminsky on the left. Kaminsky, familiar with that left side. He played there 2 years ago when we last won the Zweite Liga. And then your midfield, you had Matriciani on the far right. You had Thomas Owayan on the far left. In the middle, you had Tempelman, Seguin, and Ouedraogo. Of the 3, surprisingly, it seemed like Seguin was almost the one who was the most dropped back versus Tempelman. You thought Tempelman would probably be the guy in the back more, but Ouedraogo certainly a box-to-box in this one. And then up top, you had Jack and I kind of alluded to this in the last podcast. We said, what would happen if we had Lasma and Terodde or Lasma and Poulter up top together? We got to see it right away. Lasma was lined up on the left-hand side of the striker pairing, and then obviously Terodde on the right. And so it was an interesting lineup in this one. I do want to get to some of the plays, and we'll start off here with the first goal. It's interesting, right? Because we started off with a set piece in this one, and you look at the way this sets up, right? Thomas Owayan and Seguin are over the ball, and you have a bunch of guys in the ball. It seems like a normal set piece, right? And so what ended up happening, and we'll watch the replay here in a minute, but Thomas Owayan swings the ball in. Heracles Almelo ends up clearing the ball. It goes over the top, and our man over here, Matriciani, has the ball, right? And so two guys quickly on him. We can see two guys are on him, right? And so immediately, two guys, two bogeys are right there on top of him. And he really has four options on this play, right? Um, David says, Geraerts ball working wonders already in the five back we trust. Yeah. So before we get to the good, there's some bad, right? Matriciani, who is trying to show off for his new manager, doesn't start off so hot, does he? So he's got four options here, right? He can go back. One of his fourth option could be go back to Hekarin, right? He can go to Thomas Oyan as the first option. Can go to Templeman as the second option, or Odrago, right? Now the Odrago pass would probably be a little bit more difficult. He's going to have to kind of turn away towards the sideline and then try to find him up the sideline. More difficult to play, right? I say the two best options at this point, you're probably looking at either Hekarin in goal or even Thomas Oyan if he gets a good swinger there, because the guy is right on top of him. Plus another guy's up top, hoping he goes for the goalkeeper. Now, poor Henny Matriciani, he makes the right decision, I think, in going for Hekarin. Unfortunately, though, what we saw is that it was a poor pass and led to a breakaway. Let's watch. Almelo clearing it out. El Wafflo's in the house. So here comes the clearance. Matriciani, here comes the turnover. Boom. Look at that pass. And it's like, so you watch that and you're like, what is he thinking, man? I'm like, this one play he hit the right pass. The pass is right to go to Hekarin, but he totally whiffs on the play in front of your boss, right in front of your own bench. Not the ideal start for Matriciani, and he's got to be thinking, "Oh my gosh, here's my chance to do something well," and he doesn't get it off. And I feel for him, right? And it's like, "Oh gosh, here we go again. What are we gonna do?" But Schalke responded pretty quickly, right? Because this is in the 10th minute, and then just 3 minutes later, we had another situation. This is the good now, right? And this is where you start to see Geraerts' ball, or the attacking style play that we're hoping from the manager. And this is only a couple days in, right? So Hekarin gets the ball quickly over to Kaminsky. Kaminsky has a couple guys on top of him. He has some options, right? He can go back to Hekarin, right? It's a safe play. He could get it to Thomas Oyan as a second option. Now he's got Seguin coming in as a third option, or even maybe the fourth option. He's got Kalash way out wide. And so with the two bogeys on him, you probably don't want to go to Seguin because he's got a guy on top of him. You got two guys in the middle. If you do some errant pass like Matriciani did just a couple minutes ago, you're looking at another breakaway 1-on-1, or maybe even the goal is not even net, right? And so you want to opt for probably number 2 or number 1, so Hekarin or Thomas Owayan. What we saw is Kaminsky made a wonderful decision, and not only did he make a wonderful decision, he continued on the play. What I've noticed, at least from Schalke, and I'm curious what your guys' thoughts are, this team, at least in the first half, not necessarily the second half, but the first half, a lot of movement. We have not seen Schalke. Typically, we say Schalke, and they're very, very static with the ball or without the ball, especially with the ball. In this game, when Schalke had the ball, especially the first half, Schalke were not static at all. They were all moving around, trying to create for one another, trying to get open. And this is the centerpiece of a Geraerts attack, where the guys have to move around and find options, give their teammates options. So it's always a 2-on-1, 3-on-2, something where the numbers are in their favor. And so we saw this. Kaminsky finds the ball to Thomas Oyan and then continues up the pitch, and Thomas Oyan spots it quickly and does a one-touch pass, and off we go. And let me go over to the highlight here. Using replays by Schalke. So here we go. Kaminsky over to Oyan. Quickly back to Kaminsky. Quickly plays the ball to Brian Lasma. So right here, Brian Lasma gets the ball. And I think he's on the sideline, and it's only so much he can do. He pulls something out of his ass and does a fantastic move past the defender. And then he's going up against one, just attacking the defensive line at this point, attacking the goalie, and makes a wonderful shot and goal. I mean, that's a Bolter type move right there, right? We're used to seeing that from Bolter. And then what a goal, right? So what a goal there by Brian Lasma. The right play by Kaminsky, the right follow up by Kaminsky, the right read by Thomas Owayan, and then Kaminsky, as we've seen, if you watch the old USG of last season, their center backs like to push up. And Kaminsky likes to push up. He's a good passer also. So he gets the ball, plays the read 1-2 with Oyan, runs up the pitch, finds a good pass in last minute. Last minute, it's a difficult play because he's on the sideline with his back to there, but makes a wonderful play, very Bulter-esque, what we used to see with Bulter. Gets by his defender, then attacks, sets himself up for a shot and gets a shot on target, scores the goal. Wonderful goal there. Probably goal of the year for us, and it's unfortunately in a friendly, right? But that's good. That's a good that we see from Schalke, and so that's what we want to see under Geraerts, right? Another play which did not end up in a goal, which I did like. Drago, and and I'm going to use the plays that at least came with a replay, just so we don't have to watch the game too much. Makes it easier for me to cut too, right? But Drago gets the ball, and he's pushing up a lot in this game. And what you want to see in this position, especially as an attacker, is attack the defense, right? I don't know how many times in podcasts in the past where we said, why can't our guys just go one-on-one against the defender and try to take him on? Bulter does it. Harit used to do it for us. That's all we want to see. And Drago is certainly willing to go do that. And so he gets the ball in this position, and there's bogeys everywhere, right? There's 4 guys around him. 5th, if you include the guy that's on Tarota. Tarota's out wide left. You have Lasma out wide right. And so the safest options are either go to Tarota on the left or to go to Lasma out right? Either one, I think, would be fine. But you kind of want to see what he does, especially as a friendly. You want to see if he has the wherewithal to try to attack the defense. And the numbers are not with him, but he's very good with the feet at his ball, right? And so what we saw from Ouedraogo is he took a chance, and the ball ended up bouncing around. He looked like he kind of got fouled on a play, right? If it was a league game, it would have gone to VAR, I think. And who's to say? Who knows? Maybe we get the call, maybe we don't, right? But he's attacking the play and gets a decent opportunity. So let's watch replay on this one. There's a replay of the goal there by Lasma. So here we go. Ouedraogo on the ball. Takes on 2 defenders. Gets up quickly, right? Bouncing around. Takes on 2 guys. Gets by him. Fouled. Maybe, right? But the point is he took that chance. And, in a game, we've seen how many times the guys attacked us in the box. They go down and they get a call, whether it's a penalty or not, right? And so you have the opportunity. And so he does that in a Zweite game. There's a 50-50 chance that that's a foul, right? It was pretty close play. We didn't get, it's a friendly. They're not going to contest that or anything like that. But good to see good attacking there by Ouedraogo. Not more, but some bad, right? Kalash is a player who I do like, and I want to see him get some pitch time, especially, we see what Baumgartel has done so far this season. I have been unimpressed as of yet, and it certainly could have been 100%, the tactics that were, given to him to play, but it didn't seem that he was struggling a little bit for whatever reason. And, we want to see Kalash. We only saw him for a couple minutes in the last game, so I wanted to see what he would do in this game, and he seemed overall, I like what I saw from Kalash. But here's the play with Kalash gets the ball. He just got the ball from, I think it was from Hekarin, and he's got lots of options. Right, there's bogeys everywhere. So many bogeys. I put extra bogeys on the screen here, but he got 5 really good options. Right, he can go to the right to Cisse, go to the back to the goalie. He can go to Kaminsky to his immediate left. He's got Seguin cutting in on him, right? And so if you look at these options, really, he's got 4 good options. You probably want to avoid Seguin just because there's a guy right on top of him, and there's a guy behind him who's really pressing. But he makes the right decision, and very much like Matriciani, had the right decision in mind. It was just the follow through did not quite work out. Now, did it? So going to what happened on the play. Oh, here we go. Caught in between 2 minds, gives the ball away, and it forces a big save by Hekarin. It could have easily been 2-1 at that point. Not the greatest of plays there by Kalash. So he, instead of going for option 2 or option 4, he tried to split the difference with a very weak pass, turns it over to the Heracles Almelo guy, and he goes on a somewhat breakaway. He's going to outpace Kaminsky. everyone and the mother's going to outpace Kaminsky, right? I think we can outpace Kaminsky from our seats here on the podcast. But yeah, it goes 1-on-1 and forces a good save by Hekarin. And so, I like the idea by both Kalash and Matriciani, but the execution's got to be a lot better, especially, you're starting with a clean slate with the boss. He's going to, if you want to impress him or make him veer away from you, this is the game to do it, right? And it's just one situation, so it's not going to make the end of the world, but you got to do better than that in these kind of situations. Now, Kalash more than made up for it a little bit later in the game, later in the first half, I should say. He comes up, and again, it's a situation where a center back pushes up, and this time Kalash pushes up, and he does a nice push up, goes deep just over the center line, and has guys all over the place here. And so, like, the bogey's all around, right? There's 3 guys behind him, 2 guys in front of him, 4 guys in the back. So, I mean, there's a lot of guys out there, and he's got a lot of options, right? I don't even know what that random arrow is doing there, but option 1 is obviously go to Odraogo right next to him. He can go out wide to Matriciani. He go right to his left to Templeman. He go way left to Tamasoyan, and then he's got the 2 strikers, right? Teroda and Lasme. He can go for Teroda or try to feed it in the middle. What he goes is for the high risk pass, right? I think the safe plays here would be going to Templeman to his left or Tamasoyan, or onto the right, going pushing it ahead to Odraogo or Matriciani, because they're clogging the middle. They're making you go to the outside. That's Heracles, what they're trying to do. And so they're saying, hey, beat us wide, do it. And Kalash says, no, I'm going to go for the high risk pass. And it was a good pass. He did it perfectly between the 2 defenders. And then at that point, it's up to Brian Lasman to get an opportunity. So we'll watch the replay on this one. Well, did I skip too far ahead? I think I did. No, I didn't. So anyway, before we get there, there's a goal. The second goal of the game. Nice set piece to Thomas Oyan. Simo Teroda puts it away. Good to see Teroda get a goal. Oyan feels more confident again. He's doing it again. So, love to see him just getting his style of play back. He missed it last season for whatever reason it is, but so here's the play for Kalash I was talking about. So he comes up, pushes up, right? And then goes for the difficult pass. And Lasma runs on the end of it and gets a decent opportunity, right? On his right foot, like he wants it. It just didn't put it away. It's bad execution, right? And so the first play of the game, first goal of the game for him, he just puts it away beautifully. This time he rushes a little bit, leaning back a little too much, and it goes high and over the goal. But you like the opportunity there. Kalash goes for the difficult play on that one, and then finds his man. Lasma does what he does, outpaces the guy, and then creates some opportunities for himself. And so that's what you want to see. We can watch the rest of the replays for this. Second half wasn't as we obviously scored 2 more goals in the second half, right? But I thought the first half was a better example of what we are going to probably see from a Carl Geraerts team, meaning a lot of movement, a lot of use of the center backs pushing up, a lot of use of the wings. You're going to see a lot of wing play. I mean, Schalke already does the wing play, but it's that 1-2 touch passing, the playing the ball out of difficult positions. That's what we saw in that first game, in the first half of that game against Heracles. And so I fully expect more of that. Second half of just the guys are kind of back in the flow. We saw some of the other guys get in there, right? Longer's in there, Drexler's in there, so Karaman. And so they kind of were in auto mode. There was a lot of good stuff in there as well. We'll see, obviously, there's a couple goals in this one. So second half, Tobias Moore now is a free kick taker with Nicholas Toyer. And Moore with a lovely cross here. Nice finish by Kaminsky. Scores a goal, offsides. Nice play by Kaminsky. And at this point, Kaminsky's already got 2 assists, I think, in this game, up to this point. But yeah, I don't know how close it was. It says offsides. It's offsides, right? But nice header nonetheless. You want to see him finish those plays off. But again, a good cross by Tobias Moore. Long ball here. Finds Kaminsky this time. Kaminsky this time pushes up. Center back pushing up. You love to see this. Finds Karaman. Karaman puts it away. Did he get lucky with the deflection? Sure. But I think what we saw is Kaminsky with good pressure up there. So at this point, Kaminsky, he's really got one option, right? Well, 2 options. Take a shot or give it to Karaman and hope he does something with it. He goes for Karaman. It's probably the safer play there. And then Karaman just gets the ball in, gets a shot on target. It's what you want. Hits off the defender. Would have gone in and had it not hit the defender? Maybe not. Karaman's got a decent shot. But, you can't get those opportunities if you don't put a shot on target. And you can't get that shot on target if you don't get the ball into the right position. And what we saw again is a center back, but at least, it's the third time in this highlight, but we saw this several times throughout both halves. They push up and cause a little bit of chaos, force the defense to kind of make a decision, stepping up and leaving gaps. And that's, Kaminsky found a beautiful play to Karaman, and Karaman puts it away, right? Luck, whatever. You got to create your own luck. And these kids were having a blast, cheering on the fans there. So here comes Drexler, going for the ball backdoor, and Tobias Moore. I mean, if he nails that, good high chance he's going to score a goal there. But high risk play, and went for it. All right. So this was off a corner kick. The ball got cleared out. Comes back to Tobias Moore, right? And so Tobias Moore, what you want to see is get that crossing, make it difficult. And what we see in this play is he sees right now. You see Drexler signaling for the ball, and Moore reads it and goes for a backdoor. And what you see is two strikers. In this case, would be Polter and Karaman going in the middle looking for that pass, right? And beautiful pass by Tobias Moore. Quick one-touch pass by Drexler. You got two strikers. Oh, sorry, it's Kaminsky, not Karaman. Two strikers right there in the middle. Tap in for Polter. Game, set, match, 4-1. Wonderful job by them. Again, it's a friendly, right? That's fine. But the result is what you saw: goals. You saw a little bit of what we were hoping to see from Geraerts. So it's a good first step in the hopefully good evolution of this squad. So yeah, I like what I saw. Again, I take it with a grain of salt. It's a friendly. How invested Heracles were, I don't know, right? So I'm not going to say, hey, we're going to win the Testspiel, we're going back to the Bundesliga. I'm not saying that. But I think this is an improvement from what we've seen, especially offensively. The lack of being static, right? We were so mobile in that first half and even the second half, but more so in the first half. Guys are moving everywhere. The striker, every position's moving when we have the ball. We did not see that. In the past, we're just like, yeah, we're just going to find the open guy and see what happens. It's like, nah. They made things happen, and this is what you want. Movement creates chaos, creates opportunities, and this is what we saw, both 2 goals in each half. A good performance overall. Were there some things that were bad? Yeah, right. We mentioned Matriciani with a bad pass leads to a breakaway for a goal. Kalash, bad pass leads to a breakaway, and it was a save, luckily. And we had some missed opportunities as well. There were some good opportunities. Odrago came close several times. Lasma came close. Tarota came close. Polter came close. So we had some opportunities in that second half. Tobias Moore as well in the second half. So good start under the Geraerts era. Curious to see how it ends up. Taking day by day. Next game is going to be move my screens here. There we go, so I can see my other screen. Too many screens up here. Too many screens for myself. Karlsruhe, they're 2 points ahead of us in the table. We got them coming up this Sunday morning. We'll try to do a live stream for that one, assuming it's televised. Well, I can find an illegal stream. I am resourceful. But Karlsruhe, yeah, 2 points ahead of us. It's a must win for Geraerts to get the momentum, keep the momentum going. Right, there's some good momentum. After the game, he talked about how I saw a lot of good things. Right, and there's a lot of things we can build on. And so keep the momentum going. You got to get a nice win against Karlsruhe. Karlsruhe's last handful of games, right? They won their friendly against Strasbourg 3-0. Strasbourg's a decent Ligue 1 team. But they tied Magdeburg 1-1, so they got some defense in them in Karlsruhe because Magdeburg can score goals. We saw that firsthand. They lost to Kiel 2-0. Lost to Greuther Fürth 4-3. Greuther had a red card in that game too. They drew Kaiserslautern, so they had some defense in them, right? So they're doing pretty decent right now. They lost to Freiburg in the Pokal 1-0, so it was a close game there. So I expect a difficult game. It's going to be a low-scoring game in this one, but I think Schalke needs to find a way to get a result on the road. The traveling contingent is going to be strong. I want to see more of what we saw in the Heracles Almelo match. A lot of movement, a lot of passing, a lot of defenders. Who the back three are going to be? I'm curious what your guys' thoughts are on the back three. Obviously, I would imagine Geraerts is going to be comfortable enough to try in the first game, especially given the result. But he went with the back three to start the friendly with Cisse on the right, Kalash in the middle with Kaminsky on the left. And Jack and I were talking about, eventually we would like to see Kalash and Cisse with Kaminsky back there, or maybe even Matriciani. And what we saw right away, Cisse, and I think both Jack and I do like Cisse a lot. He's young. He's obviously very raw, but he's got the physical traits you want. He's got the pace. He's got the size, obviously, and he's got some good vision and intelligence. And the Kalash, we don't know about him yet, but he's what we've seen. We like. Do we like? I mean, I like what I've seen so far. So I'm okay with starting that back three. I think by default it's that back three, just because who's going to play? Who's going to play right back or the right winger? Left side's easy, right? It's Thomas Oyan or Tobias Moore, or even I guess on the right side you could say Nicholas Toyer or Matriciani, but you tend to think that Matriciani has the edge on this one just as an experience. Just an experience and alone and performance. Toyer's only got a measly few minutes early at the start of the season, so it's very possible he wins. He wins Geraerts over in practice. Who knows? Maybe that mess up by Matriciani is going to hurt him more than we think, right? Who knows? But I think Matriciani is pretty much locked in the right side, Oyan on the left. And so, by default, it's going to be those three unless Baumgartel gets back in the picture in good favor with Geraerts and company. But we'll see. We'll see. I love the chemistry that we were seeing on the sidelines with Kreutzer and Asmal and Bulskins, and obviously the new man Tim Smulders, who's a new assistant for Geraerts. But we'll see what happens here. So the game will be again this Sunday morning, early for us in the States, and in Canada, it's a 1:30 p.m. game in Karlsruhe. So let's go. Let's get it going. Let's get a good result in this one. Look, I want to see another Victory Monday next week. Victory Mondays are nice, but it's a Testspiel. It doesn't count. This doesn't really count, does it? It counts. Anyway, a win's a win, right? A win is a win. So anyway, enjoy the rest of the international break. Enjoy the rest of the European football going on for the European qualifiers. If any other news that happens with Schalke, obviously we're going to bring it to you guys as best we can. Try to get some more articles out there and then make some more videos. But look to have our next podcast will likely be the Monday after Karlsruhe. So next Monday, right? More than likely, especially if it's a Victory Monday. Come on, let's go. All right, guys. You can follow Jack at JMMANGAN. I'm not used to saying that. JM Mangan all across social media, especially Twitter. Then you can follow me at R_KHARMAN. But more importantly, follow Schalke America. Definitely got to plug the YouTube page. Make sure you go there, subscribe, like the videos. Check out the tactics video we made for Geraerts. If you want a little bit of a quick 10-minute video about what to expect from him, watch that video. Want a little bit more in-depth analysis, go to schalkeamerica.com and read the article we posted. It's a little bit more detailed tactical breakdown of what to expect from Geraerts and Schalke. But other than that, enjoy the break, enjoy the games, and we'll catch you really soon. Glück auf.